Well, hello, everybody. I am extremely excited today to be joined by Helen Hiebert over there in Colorado. And Helen has been here before, and it's still one of our most popular videos. She did a weaving project, and people still talk about it. So I knew I had to have her back when I found out that she was releasing a new book. So let me just tell you a little bit about Helen. If you don't know her, I'd be very surprised, but she is a paper artist who works on everything from artist books, installations, and handmade paper. It's one of the big things that she's known for. She teaches and she exhibits her work internationally, and she's the author of several books, including her newest, which is called Weaving with Paper. What I love about this book, it's like really approachable. There are 30 different projects, and they use stuff that you've probably already got in your house. So I think you're going to love seeing a project from this book, and I know for a fact you're going to go run out and buy it. So today I'm going to ask her a few questions just to get going, and then she's going to show us how to create a really gorgeous hexagonal paper weaving, which I am dying to see. So hi, Helen.
Hi, Allie. Great to be here.
Well, thank you. It's great to have you. So I've been wondering, you and I have, been talking since, I don't even know when, 2018, 17, I don't know, but I don't actually know how you got started in paper. Do you want to, is it something you came to later in life, or has it been a constant love?
Well, in college. So
College.
Pretty early. Yeah. I had the opportunity to spend my junior year abroad. I was studying art at a really small school, University of the South in Tennessee, liberal arts college. So art, you had to take all kinds of classes. Art wasn't the sole thing. But when I went to Germany for this year abroad, I did only take art classes, and I took a class about paper. And I don't think there were any classes about paper in the US at this time. And we did everything with paper. We made it in a blender. I didn't enjoy that. It's funny that I turned to hand paper making later, but and we constructed furniture out of cardboard, and we made pop-ups. So it really introduced me to paper as a material and all the different ways you can use it. And that's still what I'm interested in today. Not just one thing, not just making paper, but weaving paper, cutting paper, folding paper. I just want to know everything about paper, which is not possible. But anyways,
you're trying. We're not going to say how many years ago you were in college, but it's decades, suffice to say, right?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I know that you're author of how many other books aside from this one? 2 or 3?
Sorry, I'm going to elevate that. So Weaving with Paper is my 7th.
7th? Are you kidding? I didn't realize it was your 7th.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Wow. When did your first book come out?
It came out in 2000 or maybe 1999. So I did 2 books about paper making. And then Paper Illuminated, about making paper lights. And then 2 books, Playing with Paper, Playing with Pop-Ups. And then The Art of Paper Craft, and then Weaving with Paper. Yeah.
Wow. Good grief. I did not realize it was that many. Well, why weaving? So how did this new book come about then? Like, a little bit about that journey.
Right. Well, I wove paper for the first time maybe in the mid-90s. I got this idea that I wanted to I was working with paper and light and wanted to make a lampshade. And I thought, ooh, I wonder what woven paper would look like. And it didn't do what I thought it would do, because when you weave 2 pieces of paper, you've got the same paper on the front and the back. It just checkerboards.
Yeah.
Well, when the light comes on, it blends. And I was looking for something else. So I discovered this way. I came up with this way to cut between the layers. And anyways, that's all in the book. That's a little more advanced. But that I did that. And then in 2013, so I have big gaps between things, but I'm doing a lot of other things, right? Writing books and all of that.
Yeah, raising kids.
2013, I did my own 100-day project We had moved to Colorado in 2012 from Portland, Oregon. I just, my husband had a job, my kids had school. I was kind of figuring out where my studio was going to be, what I was going to do, how I was going to get back into teaching here. And anyway, so I did this 100 days of paper weaving. And it really pushed me to find 2 different papers each day. So to really explore paper, commercial paper. I was making my own paper, but this was branching out into exploring papers that were mass produced as well as handmade papers. And then I created a weaving day for those 100 days. I blogged about it. It was a great experience. It was just great to get into this rhythm of making daily and leaving perfection behind, because, oh my gosh, I've got to pick the kids up from school in 20 minutes and, I've got to get my weaving done, whatever. So that led then a few years later to an online class that I still teach every February called Weave Through Winter. So I shortened it to 30 days of weaving. And it's been really popular, that class. And so I just started thinking, because I already write how-to books, this would be a really cool how-to book to base it on the class. So not only is it how to weave paper, but it incorporates this daily practice if you wish. It's a book, so you can put it down and come back anytime, but it is, I do talk about the daily practice and the values of that and how you could do these projects day after day. Or you can join my class Weave Through Winter in February and do it with a group. Because that's another element, doing it with a group. Because the book and my class, we have prompts each day, just like circle or hope or, whatever. I just have a list of words every year. And it's really interesting to see everyone's approach, not just your own, right?
Well, that's the beauty of creating a community, right? Well, talking of a creative practice, you're busy, you're doing installations, you're writing books, you're teaching online, I know you teach in person, right? You do sort of big long workshops and paper making. How do you stay creative daily, or don't you? Like, do you have a daily practice, or do you have a weekly practice, a monthly? How do you kind of balance those things?
So it's interesting. So I think I like to talk about the intermittent daily practice. So this Weave Through Winter online class that I teach every February, the first couple of years I was only the instructor, but then I started weaving along because I get a lot of insight from doing it with the group that I can share with the group. So I do that 30-day or 28-day, 28 or 29, right? February is a shorter month. I do that with everyone. And year after year, that's something to kind of look forward to. So that's just one thing I wanted to say. In terms of my own practice, it is, I don't have a formula for what I do. It just kind of depends on what's coming up. And if I could stop myself from starting new programs, like maybe I'm done with that, but I'm always excited about something new. So then that takes a lot of energy, right? Just to figure it all out and orchestrate it. Now I have programs that I'm content with at the moment. And that's so they kind of, I know how they're running. So I have a little more time then to make work. And, I do artist books are one of my main income streams and artistic practices. And I have not come out with one in several years because I have been busy with other things. But I'm working on one now, and it is like way more complex than the ones I've done before, of course. So it's going to take me a while to get it out in the world. But it's actually a woven paper alphabet. So it's
Oh,
It
wow.
incorporates paper weaving
Yeah.
and handmade paper.
Yeah. That's
And
cool.
then, yeah, my installations are also kind of few and far between, not all the time.
Yeah. Yeah. So
Um,
it's seasons, really.
yeah, and I go to my studio 3 days a week. My studio is offsite. I'm in my
Yeah.
home office now.
Yeah.
So I do go there, and it's some days I'm, you know,
Mm,
doing more preparation work or planning a workshop
yeah.
versus working on my art. So, but
Mm,
it's all creative to me.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
think
Well,
planning projects for my membership group, the paper year, that's design and
yeah.
it's creative. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah, no, I hear you. I think,
yeah,
just teaching is creative and running a
hmm
business can be creative. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I love it. Well, thank
hmm
you. I'm just
yeah.
always nosy. I just want to hear,
No, that's
I'm
great.
just always nosy, want to hear about people's creative practices. So shall we, take a peek at what project you're planning to do today?
Yeah.
Yeah, on a flip.
So I click on the FaceTime, right?
No, you're going to choose the other camera.
You know what? Now I'm only seeing one choice. Oh,
Oh, shoot. You're not
can
seeing.
maybe I need to go smaller screen. Hang on. Uh,
That's all right. Don't worry, we'll find it.
anyway, I got it.
There
Okay.
you, there
Woo.
you go. Hold on, let me take myself out and pop you right in the middle. There we go.
Okay, so let me just show you guys the book.
Yeah.
Does it look backwards to you?
Nope, that looks perfect.
It looks backwards to me. All right. So, Weaving with Paper, this is my new book, and the cover has this hexagonal weaving. And
Mm,
this is a project in the book. However, I'm showing you a variation because the project in the book is larger size. That's all. And you can
mm,
shrink it down, expand it. It's one of those things that's scalable.
nice.
So I just wanted to show you how to do this. And I love this Tant origami paper. Do you ever use this, Allie?
No,
Probably.
no.
Well, I'm not using it for origami, obviously. I am using it for paper weaving.
Mm,
This is a really cool, that comes in all different kinds of packs, but this one is 100 sheets of different colors, which is
ooh,
so fun.
nice.
And the paper is a little more textured and thick than your normal origami paper.
Nice.
And so I just like it for because of the color range, and it's just something inexpensive to purchase and works well for paper weaving.
Great.
And so I have this template that I'm using, and we're going to provide you with this template
Yes.
with the recording.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to show you this amazing German weaving tool.
Ooh.
And let's see, if you have the book, there is a template in the book as well, but it's the larger size for the larger project. But this is just a 40% reduction. So that's all I've done. And the template that we'll provide will be the smaller one. So the reason I call it hexagonal weaving is because you see these little hexagons in the center. And I think paper weaving is a bit of a mystery. Friedrich Froebel, who lived in the 1700s, developed gifts for children. He was an educator, specific young children. And the 14th gift was paper weaving. And you can find examples of paper weavings from that time in books that are just amazing. But this open type weaving, let me just show you where I'm going. So this, you guys saw this on the website.
Yeah.
This open weave, because usually paper strips are all close together, but we have holes, is more related to basket weaving. So I think there's a crossover. I haven't been able to, really put together the history, but I did write sort of my ideas about it in the beginning of my book. Okay, so I just need 12 strips, And as you see in this one, they're all different colors. Today I'm going to weave three colors, 4 strips. These are 1/4 inch strips. And this template just helps me. Once you do this a few times, you probably get it. In fact, in my class, I've started to think maybe I'm mean because I just show people a picture and then say, try to figure this out. And some people can and some people can't. And then after that, I do a demo. So I show them how to do it. So I just use pins, but you could also use little pieces of tape. So I put all the verticals down. Got a short pin, surprised me. And then I'm going to take the ones going in this direction. I'll pin those down as well. So I only weave the 3rd set. The first 2 sets are just laid on top of each other.
Nice. Is there something underneath to hold the pins in place?
Oh yeah, foam core.
Foam core. Okay.
Yes, I have my template pinned on or taped to foam core.
Great.
You could use cardboard, bulletin board.
Great.
See, I'm one short on my red.
Is your husband on a Zoom call by any chance?
You guys can hear him? Yeah. Sorry.
That's okay.
I did not ask him before this.
Oh, really?
And then we had the issue with my headphones.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Are your headphones still on the table or are they back in the holder?
They're in the holder.
Oh, great. That's good. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys.
Oh, it's all right. We can't hear what he's saying, luckily.
Okay.
It's like a private meeting.
Yeah, it's a thin wall.
Right.
Okay, so now we have those 2 sets of strips. Now I'm going to weave in. For some reason, my counting was off. Okay, I need 4. I'm going to weave in the next set. And so you do not have to have this weaving tool. I'll show you doing it with or without. But this is a special German weaving tool with this pinch. See that pinchy end that I can grab this end of my strip with that.
Oh, that's clever.
And I can pre-weave with this metal tool. Wow. So I'm going to do that second. First, I'll just show you weaving. Now, I always like to trim at my strip to a point because I'm going to be weaving right close to the joint of the 2 strips there, and it helps it not get caught. So I'm going to go under. This is a rule. Under the verticals, over this. These aren't horizontal, but we'll call them horizontal just for the sake. So under the vertical always and over the horizontal, or in my case, under the blue, over the red. So I'm going under the blue, over the red. And you see how it's interlocking and creating that triangle. Now I have a tight weave here. I'm going to go under the blue. I like to use my knife to help prod and lift. Whoop. I can kind of stab it and grab it because that end's going to get cut off.
Got it.
So under the vertical, over the horizontal, under the vertical, over the horizontal, under, over. Sometimes I use a tweezers also. But since I have the weaving tool, that's what I've started to use. So under, over. Yeah, I'm sorry. My husband gets animated when he's talking, so I'm sure he sounds. So do you see now it's woven in there? And once I get 2 or 3 of these in, it's going to start holding together.
Yeah.
So now let me, I forgot to trim. I'm going to cut the end of this one. Just going to help it pull through and not get caught. And then I pinch, grab, and then I'll weave this one next. So I'm starting with the red one, so it's over the red, right? So I just have to switch. It's always the strip. I'm going to take my tweezers here just to help me lift. And once you do this a couple times, it gets a little simpler. Over, under, over, under. Let's see. I'm thinking my knife is going to help me better. And then, so always over, red under blue. And so now that's woven through, and I can pull my piece into place.
Nice.
And then sometimes I can pre-weave and then put the strip on.
Yeah.
So let me just do one more. We'll see. So over, trim that end.
Wow.
And then pull that through. You have to be careful when you pull that you don't accidentally pull it off. And let me just do this one real quick so it's done. So this is completely, you could have many more woven strips. And this is just the very basic with 4 strips.
Yeah.
You can make this much bigger. And obviously you could use all kinds of papers. I have a couple examples to show you too.
Nice. Oh, that tool is amazing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Washi Arts has it, I believe.
Washi Arts carries it by itself, and I have it for sale on my website too.
Oh, good. Okay, great.
There's a link that you're sharing that has
Great.
a paper pack with the book.
Yes.
Well, you can buy the things individually. So the book and the paper pack, you can get the weaving tool too, or you can buy all individual items.
Oh, great. We'll include a link to, well, obviously we're including links to your website underneath the recording. So
yeah, I think you have it already. Yeah. So there, now it's holding together.
Look.
Yeah.
So no glue. No.
Well, I do glue it. Like if I was going to leave it like this, I wouldn't need any glue, but it's fun to trim the ends. So I'll just do a quick demo. If you wanted to trim the ends, I would glue first. Just looking, where did I? Okay. So I'm going to. It will start falling apart if I trim too many. So I usually just trim one at a time and then add a spot of glue right under here. So I'm going to lift that up.
Wow.
And put a dot of glue there. Of course, I tested this applicator and it was working. I have this issue with glue drying. Okay, well, we'll fake it. All right. So then I glue it. And then there's all different ways you can cut the ends. So I'm doing kind of a spiky, so points. But you could also cut across like this and get a flat. Maybe I'll do a pattern where, let's see.
Huh. Oh, that's neat.
Yeah. So, there's different ways to cut it. I wanted to I'll show you some examples now. So I showed you this one. So here's where I have, like I was doing with spiky.
Yeah.
This one is cut straight.
Yeah.
And if you kind of look at this pattern, you can see different shapes in there. You know, it could block off,
Yeah.
come up with different ideas.
That makes sense.
I cut a couple out just to show you. So a diamond
Ooh.
or an abstract heart.
Oh, nice.
Here's one other format that I've done.
Ooh.
It's a little different than
All with the same template.
all with the same template. Yeah.
Ooh, interesting. I love that. Is that done with the same paper?
This is all the Tant. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one,
right?
Sorry, go ahead.
T-A-N-T, the paper, Tant?
Yes, T-A-N-T.
Great.
And here's one where it was just an old book of sheet music. And this is a larger template.
Yeah.
So again, that template can be scaled up, scaled down, and then your strips become a little wider.
Yeah.
In order to fit together.
Wow.
Oh, and here's one other. This is a little bit different. This is a pentagon.
Ooh.
5 sides, but done in a different way where I just is something you can do called weaving from the center out. So I laid out one over the next and created that pentagon shape. I'm just doing this real quick. And so this one needs to go under. So if you look at them all, they're one is over, one is under. And then you just keep weaving around. And it's trimmed. It's a little more complicated because of these ends, you see. But I just want you to know the sky's the limit and the possibilities are really endless.
Oh my goodness. It looks very meditative.
Mm-hmm. It is. Once you kind of figure out your plan, then you just, it's meditative. Exactly.
Oh. We have a couple questions. Do you mind if I ask them?
No.
But do you want to just pop them on the screen? I think I starred them, or any others you starred too. Could you use quilling paper? Asked Lisa.
Yeah, absolutely. In the book, I talk about all kinds of ways to cut strips, but quilling paper is already cut, as you know. So, and you can get different widths. So, absolutely.
Oh, nice. Thank you. What type of glue are you using?
I'm using PVA, which is a archival bookbinding glue.
Great.
So you could use any white glue, but PVA will last longer.
Great, thank you. What else? Oh, where'd you get the Tant paper? Any particular source that you like?
You can find it Washi Arts, you mentioned earlier. Washi Arts is a Japanese paper supplier.
Oh, great.
They carry it, and you can also find it on the Big A.
Yeah, let's go to Washi Arts, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds better. Nice. Did you see any other questions, Amber? No. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Carry on, Helen.
No. That's what I had to show you. I will show you this. I mentioned this Friedrich Froebel, who invented kindergarten.
Oh, okay.
And he taught educators how to teach children.
Yeah.
Again, in the 1700s. And this, someone in one of my Weave Through Winter classes sent me this book.
Oh my gosh.
And this is like a sample book. I believe that a teacher would have had, it's an accordion. So look at this.
No.
These pull out. And they're all on boards. So this could be, and it's in disrepair. That's why these pieces are falling out, because it's over 100 years old. And so these are sample weavings that the children would probably look at to follow.
Wow. In kindergarten?
Well, kindergarten is a wider range age than 5 years old, which is what we say. So maybe young children.
Yeah.
But this is why I think I can't imagine a kindergartner. These are 1/8 inch strips. So I
Yeah.
think these were the examples that the teacher made. And then the children looked at them and made bigger ones. I have seen some samples by children that were wider strips.
That would make sense. Yeah.
And then there were kits that were made. So see, they're all like regular patterns. And then in the back, there are a couple, I think, where the teacher just kind of made her own design.
That's really what an interesting book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm trying to make a little sampler for myself. I've only made 2 so far.
Oh, that's great.
And it's fun to look at weavings on the back. So these look very similar, but it's the mirror image, right? So here I can't tell what's left or right because it's backwards on my screen. Green cross, white cross.
That's amazing.
Just strips that are woven through. Now, in this case, I have a paper loom. When with the hexagonal weaving, everything was loose strips. But with these weavings, I cut slits and then weave strips in. So in a way, paper weaving is more freeform than cloth weaving because cloth weaving is done on a loom where you have the set vertical strips or yarns, right? And you weave through that in different ways. With paper, you can get released from the loom or use it.
Yeah. Wow. Do you ever use like wavy strips of paper or do you always have straight ones?
Yes, I do. Let me just show you a little bit of the book.
Yeah, please.
So I mentioned that lampshade, which I made. So I have a picture of that because that really is where I started. So I made these 2 lamps, and here, this one has curvy strips.
Oh,
this is a really old photograph, done from a slide back in those old days. This one has diagonal strips. So I immediately thought, you don't have to do straight everything, right? So I drew diagonals and curves. And then when the light was turned on, really what you saw was the spacing in between. So you see the slits.
Yeah.
The 2 papers are blended. So it's interesting because on versus off, they look different. But then I came up with this way of cutting between the layers. So now this is it's different color because it's a different weaving. But now you see light coming through the paper where I've cut a window. And this is just a little catalog of the 30 projects.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, you work your way through the different styles, straight strips. You can cut your strips different widths. You can have a frame, curves.
Yeah.
There's just more intricate designs.
Diagonal. Right.
You can do circular weaving.
Yeah.
I'll flip to a couple actual pages. Spiral weaving. Here's the hexagonal. You can weave into negative space. You can weave shapes. I mean, it's really, and triaxial weaving is like the creme de la creme. It's really tricky, but it's beautiful. So then every project has obviously instructions, and then I've included pictures of 2 example weavings from participants in my Weave Through Winter online class.
Nice.
So variations. So you don't have to weave exactly what I weave. Look at what you did, So
that's really cool.
Here's some more window cutting where you can see more of the background paper because of that.
Yeah.
What
a rich book.
This diagonal. We always do Weave Through Winter in February, so I have a heart.
Got to.
Let's see. There's another one where it was, Paper and Light was really my Oh, you can do modular. So I call that when there's different weaving styles within the same.
Yeah,
weaving.
that's cool.
And I'm trying to find this.
Holy smokes.
There's different kinds of strips. You can cut your strips into curves or angles. The triaxial. I missed the light. Yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, the 30 projects, and then there are three kind of product projects. So a note card and a reverse piano hinge album to feature or display your weaving in.
Nice, that's a good idea.
And then a lantern.
Beautiful. I guess that was going to be one of my questions. Yeah, what have you seen people use their weavings for? And that kind of partly answers the question. So
yeah, cards, books,
yeah,
artwork in and of itself.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, a lot of this could just be put into a frame and just you can look at the wall. I had one more question. What do you use to cut your strips of paper? Asked Kathy.
Yeah, sometimes I just use a ruler and a knife. I like, sometimes I use a plastic ruler with a grid on it.
Oh, yeah.
Because that way you can see the width and get a consistent width. But frankly, so see, you can see the lines, so I could see how to cut. One of the reasons I came up with cutting curved strips was that you don't have to measure. It looks so cool when you do this and then you have another curved one that you weave into it.
Oh, yeah.
You can even cut two pieces at the same time. This is a fun exercise. It's in the book. So I could have had two pieces that I was cutting at the same time and then turn one 90 degrees and weave those together. And so you have some symmetry.
Yeah.
But another thing I use is one of these, just a paper cutter.
Yeah.
So you just slip your paper in there.
Nice.
Cut your strip. Yeah. And it's got the ruler on it, so you can get even strips.
I love it. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Just for folks who have just joined us, yes, this recording will be available immediately after this on Facebook, and then we'll pop it onto YouTube this afternoon. So we've had lots of people kind of joining us halfway through. So
yeah.
Do you want to flip back to your face so we can say hello? That was really fun. I feel like it's such a rabbit hole you could go down. Like you could do this the rest of your life and you would still like find new things to weave. Wow.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, you've been doing it for 25 years, right? 20?
Yeah, I would say I started 25 or 30 years ago, but then I took some big breaks. So really for the last 10, but yeah, there's no end in sight. It's fascinating. And you can just go into your recycling and find really interesting papers like the security envelopes. You know, you wouldn't believe how many patterns are on inside of those envelopes you get your bills in.
Yeah.
And old postcards. I showed you the sheet music, calendars, magazine pages.
Oh, yeah, calendar.
In addition to all of the beautiful papers you can purchase or make.
Exactly. Oh, thank you so much. It was so much fun just to watch you create that and to flip through your book, and just those thin paper strips can make something so amazing. It's just kind of mind-blowing. And I think you've given everyone here like I think their minds are racing about what they can do with all their scraps, you know. So for folks who are watching, let us know in the comments if this is something that you're going to be trying this weekend, because I know that I will be. And if you do share, you know, if you do make something, if you do this project, remember to post it on Instagram and tag both Helen and I, and we'll be able to see it. So, all right. Is there anything else, Helen, that you would like to add before we wrap up today?
I don't think so. I just I hope you'll try out paper weaving. My book is available. I said on my website, but it's available wherever books are sold, and you can probably ask your library if they don't have it to order a copy. So,
That's a good idea.
Would love for people to weave paper.
Oh, me too. Well, thank you again. Thank you for sharing your work with us, and I will make sure that all of the links are underneath, including the template. I think I may need to get that from you again, just to make sure I've got the right one, but we'll make sure that's posted straight away. And yeah, I know I'm doing this this weekend. So thank you so much,
thanks,
Helen.
Yeah.
Right. Have a great day.
You too. Bye.